Hello everyone, I am Dr. Aarti Chandani. I am professor at Jaipuria Institute of Management. Today I am going to talk about the topic mergers and amalgamation. So let's get started. So I would like to give you a historical perspective of mergers. Now the mergers started in 1990s and Goldman was the leader in the M&A. So here let me talk about who was the pioneer in mergers. So it was Lazard Ferrer, and in merchant banking, when we talk about mergers, the big ticket size deals are known as bid swinging deals. And the size of one merger and acquisition should be about 10 million at the least. And here, when we talk about historical perspective of mergers and acquisition, a professional investment bankers who is specializing in mergers and acquisitions. It was popularized by Morgan Stanley Greenhill and Eric Gleicher, and it was being practiced by Goldman Sachs under Sidney Welbeck. Greenhill and Gleicher were regarded as the founders of merchant banking, what we see today in the form of mergers and acquisitions. Let me take you to a practical aspects of mergers and acquisitions. So I'm just going to show you some of the documents which are there and I'll show you how does it happen. So if you see here the company mergers, I am taking you to the website of Bombay Stock Exchange and it shows you that these are the mergers which have taken place. Now the list is pretty long, but it just is just a glimpse of the mergers what we see in today's time. So merger is again one of the very routine activity for any company which keeps on happening, and there could be various reasons for the mergers which we will see. Now you can see some of the names which we are very well aware about that. Like you can see Gujarat Ambuja Cement, you can see Dr. Reddy's Laboratory. So you can see these are the companies which we are aware about those companies, and the merger keeps on happening with those companies. Let me take you to another site which shows you the mergers and acquisitions, but those are related to the companies which are facing the some sort of liquidation. So there is NOC which is required under Regulation 37 of SEBI listing obligation and disclosure requirement. Especially this NOC is required for the companies which are facing uh, either liquidation or have been on the process of liquidation. So if you see again, there are multiple companies which are listed here, and you see the date. The dates are 16th April 2025. That means it was just yesterday. So we are recording this lecture on 17th. So this was just yesterday. So this keeps on happening and that list goes on. It's a pretty long list, but this is just to give you a glimpse of how the mergers and acquisition keep on happening. I have one more document which I'll show you here related to mergers and acquisitions. So I'll just show you. Now, if you see this document is related to the scheme of merger by absorption, and this is related to Accenture Limited. So now scheme of merger is very important. Now this particular document actually gives you the details as to how the merger will be executed. So it gives you the entire process, the entire deal, how this is to be transacted, and you see the number of companies which are there. So there are 4, 5, 6 companies, seven companies, and which they are going to be transferred there, and which are going to be transferred with Accenture Solutions Private Limited. So now the merger, it's not necessarily with only one company, but it can happen with multiple, as you can see here. So a scheme of merger gives you the details with respect to who are the companies, why these companies are going for merger. Now you see the details of the companies are given, and other details with respect to what happens to the shareholding, which is pre and post, how the deal will happen, how the shares will be transferred, whether it will be in cash or some other form. So everything is given in this particular document. So these are some of the recent example which I thought to give you about mergers. Now let's talk about why a company goes for a merger. So what is the perspective? Now, first of all, mergers the companies go for because it brings a substantial amount of synergy. When we talk about synergy, what happens in merger parlance? It is very much common term which says that 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. That means when you are bringing two companies together, you are not making them equal to two, but those are always greater than two. So mergers and acquisitions are actually very important in terms of generating the synergy. So here we are having two sides of investment banking which are involved in there. One is the sell side and another is the buy side. So again, it depends on the investment banking. So the same investment banker may act as the buy side for some clients. Some same investment banker can be the sell side from in another deal. So you can be part of one investment banking firm, but it depends on the type of project which they are taking or type of mergers which they are involved. So they can be buy side or they can be in the sell side also. Thank you. Thank you very much.